Hello, hello, fellow crafters. Good to see you again. I'll tell you in a minute why I've been absent. But today I'll share with you this video on how to foil on different surfaces and what's my process for trying and finding out what works and what doesn't. I'll show you both of them in the video as well. And here you can see the final results that I got on this foiling round. I've missed all of you. I've missed recording, and I've actually been a bit depressed for not being able to post anything and record anything lately. Here's my foiling machine. It's very well loved. It's from the first version that was released by Spellbinders. As you can see, I already have my layers of very well loved and used shims in between my two plates. I already leave them there permanently. I have another video talking about foiling and how I decide what I need, like how many shims I need and things like that. I've tested, and my die cutting machine that I use with this foiling machine, it's also very well loved. It has way more pressure on one side than the other, so I had to test and find out how many shims I needed to make this work. I just plug it, turn it on, and this is the plate that I'm going to be using today. It's actually not a foil plate, it's a better press plate. I don't have a better press platform, and just by touching it, I can tell you that it is different from a die, like a foiling die, a foiling plate. And the main thing is the texture. It's weird, but when you touch a Veripress plate, it feels like velvet. As you can see here on a Glimmer plate, it's actually very, very slick. Like this one looks like a mirror. And the other one has texture to it, which is probably what makes the ink attached to it better and makes you get those perfect impressions, which is not what we're doing today, but that's my guess. It's just brilliant. It's just genius. This is the foil that I'm using for this first round, and then later I'm going to be using a red one. It's called Aura. It's also by Spellbinders. And here you have 3 lights on your platform. Once you turn it on, the red one on top lights up. When it's ready for you to press the second button, the light in between goes solid green, and then you press the button and the bottom light, the third one, will blink and will go solid once it's ready. Here you can see very well where I added an extra shim. It's just a piece of cardstock. This one is very lightweight, so I should have chosen a heavier one because I'm gonna be first foiling on vellum, and vellum is way lighter, it's way slimmer than regular cardstock. To foil, you're gonna need your die cutting machine. I'm using my Big Shot 6. With the Big Shot, you just remove everything, and then you use the whole platform from your Glimmer system instead of your die cutting platform. I run it back and forth. I always run it twice. I don't know why. You probably don't need to run it twice. And I run it very slowly, and then it's ready. I'll show you the result. This one I didn't get a perfect result because that cardstock was not as heavyweight as it needed to be, but I'm going to use these as backgrounds, so they don't need to be perfect. And I just wanted to see how it looks like, and it looks gorgeous. It's so stunning. So I used that Aura on vellum, and it looks unique, absolutely unique. And I'm going to save this leftover foil to use with my solid plate afterwards. I'm going to show you that too in a minute. Now I'm going to try red foil on red cardstock, and I already removed that extra piece of cardstock that I used as a shim on the first one. So this one is what you would normally do, and I am editing and removing the time in between those lights go solid, but I'm showing it to you here just so you know that the light is blinking. Once it's solid, you just remove the whole platform, run it through back and forth very slowly, and then it's ready. It really takes just a second. The other thing that you can do in the beginning to guarantee that you're gonna have great results is to undock your platform, put it back, and turn it on again. So you don't need to do that each time that you're going to foil, but for the very first time, that will guarantee that your platform is very hot and that you will get better results. The other stuff, it's kind of trial and error. So you have to kind of experiment a lot to see different gramameters of cardstock, different weights will demand more or less shims, and also the texture of your cardstock. Here I'm trying something absolutely different. I have this velvet cardstock from Simon Says Stamp, and I just wanted to see if it will foil. It shouldn't, because it's not a smooth surface, and foil works great on smooth surfaces, but it's very soft. So I was curious, and I suggest you to also be curious at home. Like, you can probably foil on stuff that you've never thought of. Like you could foil a sentiment on a piece of ribbon, for example. It's something that I haven't seen many people doing, and different cardstock and paper materials as well. So be curious. As you can see here, I got a bit of overfoiling, probably because of the shims that I already have. This is way thicker than regular cardstock. So if I had another piece and I had more time, I would have tried it again without those shims, and I probably would have a beautiful result. And I was very pleased to see that. I was very surprised, because I honestly thought this wasn't going to work at all. I am not going to reutilize the negative one from this, but you see what we're going to try next. Other things that you can try with foil at home, these ones I've tried before. It's any smooth cardstock. Here I'm trying a metallic one this time. This one is like a matte metallic, if that makes sense. And I'm using the foil that is a shiny metallic. You could do the other way around and use the mirrored metallic cardstock and then the matte foil. I don't have any matte foil, so I did the other way around. This is the red one that I used earlier, in case you want to order for yourself. It's just red, metallic red. You have them also with different textures. But as I was saying before, any smooth cardstock should give you good results. And also photographic paper. Probably the paper that you use for alcohol inks, but then I haven't tried that one. It is a synthetic paper. It might melt. So if you do that experiment, let me know if it works or not. Just pay attention and keep an eye on it. And here's the result. Look at this. It gave me so much more texture. It is way thicker than the red one and then the vellum, so it actually embossed it a little bit. I did get a bit of overfoil, but I'm gonna use the negative anyways. And here's how I usually do it. So I let the plate heat up, and you just add the foil to the plate with the pretty side touching the plate. You put your cardstock on top. This one, the plate is so sleek. The foil tends to slide a little bit back and forth, so make sure, maybe you want to tape it, maybe you would prefer to tape it. It did move a little bit. I'm not using it the size it is. I'm gonna cut it down, so to me there was no problem, but keep an eye on that. You can see now on your screen that I am actually undocking my platform, my foiling platform, and I'm docking it back because that plate was cold and I wanted to make sure that it's gonna be as hot as it can be, so I get a better transfer. Now I'm just going to run it again the second time that the third light goes solid. I will undock it for real and run it through back and forth very slowly, and I got a perfect foiling result. And I will hold the two of them up to the camera here so you can compare. This one, because the plate is extremely smooth, you get the foil, but you get no dimension whatsoever. And the other one, because it was not like a Glimmer plate, it is the better press plate. And on top of foiling, it will add dimension and a lot of detail. It also embosses, so you can clearly see the difference between the two of them. I love both, I'm not gonna lie. I like the smooth, I also love the dimension, but it's just so you know that you do have that option. While I do the other panels, I just want to tell you what happened lately that I've been MIA. my tablet broke. The tablet that I used to record, edit, and post my videos broke down. I tried to get the screen replaced everywhere I could find, but I was about to leave Brazil and come back to Ireland. So they sent me the wrong screen. Well, long story short, I couldn't get the screen replaced. I've tried to get it replaced here in Ireland when I arrived, as soon as I arrived, but I couldn't find the correct replacement screen. So I decided to buy a new tablet. It just arrived a few hours ago and I had to reinstall all the apps, link it to my accounts, all the jazz. So I should start regularly posting this following week or the week after. I do apologize for the difference in quality of this video and my previous ones. I know the audio is not great, the image is probably not the best either, but I had to film it with my phone. It's all I could do. That was my only option, and I know the camera and the microphone are not the best on this phone, but it should be corrected from now on. And I did miss all of you. I miss crafting, I miss filming, I miss posting, I really miss everything. Sorry for the short video. It's all I had time to do before my trip, and things should be a little bit more stable from now on. I'm going to try to record a little bit more. If I have a chance to post more videos, post more frequently, I will. About this video, just be curious with your craft supplies. Try out different things. You might find something that surprises you, that turns out beautiful and that works that you never thought about before, or it might not work, and that's okay. You just know that not to do that in the future. But keep curious, keep crafting, and create something beautiful today. I miss you all. Kisses. Bye.